Alright, so today I'm going to be reinstalling the subwoofer I installed over the weekend. I had to get a new wiring harness because the one that I was trying to use is kind of screwed up. So I just kind of dry fitted over here, and I'm already running into issues with it being on this side. For one, I can't lift this all the way up with it on this side, so I gotta move it. So first I'm gonna disconnect the battery and try to get this out. So I kind of just had it sitting in here, but you'll notice I just pull that out. That's not good. Put that over there. So I'm actually going to completely relocate this to where that jack is and take the jack out and put it in the bed. So I'm just taking out the holder for it. So it looks like it's just a couple 13mm bolts. So that should come right out. So now there's plenty of room for this sub or any other compact sub I want to put back here. Just kind of dry fitting it over here. See, there's plenty of room for it. So back here, driver's side, there's this grounding strap that I gotta kind of redo. And it's 8mm. So I used to have this subwoofer in my WRX, and then when I traded it for the Outback, they kind of gutted my wiring harness for the subs when they pulled them out, and then I just never installed them in the Outback. So now I'm putting them in the truck, or at least one, but one in the RV, but I still have one just chilling. So now I gotta take the new wiring harness and strip it down so I can replace this one. But it's only like 15 bucks, so it's not too bad. This one. And I need the ground. Right, this is the ground. Alright, well, just some more technical difficulties. Should have known, but the colors on this thing do not match up anything that was on the original one. So I just gotta kind of eyeball it and line everything up by position and not by color. So, alright, so now the light's on and seems to be working. Just had to line up the right wires with the right positions because the color does not matter. See, I just tapped into these sub wires. Okay, so I kind of had to double check some things. I was getting some low volume out of this. I knew it could be just a lot louder, so of course, quick Google search. I just wanted to double check my wiring, and of course I had it backwards. I had the top left one here wired and not the bottom left one, because that matched up with this one, which I had because I figured I would just do black stripe to black stripe, and that seems to work. So I used some speaker wire spliced into the B&O kicker, or B&O sub here. Ran all the wires back behind it, just twisted them or spliced them as needed. So I can always tuck back there, take all the old wiring. But now I want to see how long it takes for this to turn off. But my main issue was that I had spliced together, the two wires that came off. Basically spliced together these two gray wires and these two white wires, which is not what you're supposed to do. So I just figured keeping the black to black made sense. So to summarize the install, I just ran, I think this is 20 gauge, about 20 feet of 20 gauge I got from AutoZone. And then I ran it, let's see, there we go, ran it through this grommet. From the inside of the cab, I pushed a clothes hanger with this wire taped to the end of it through the grommet. After cutting, there's a couple old zip ties on there you gotta cut. And then these floor liners do a good job of hiding everything, but it's a pretty simple install. This is the remote for it. Power wire just kind of tucks in here. It's a very thin wire, so it sits in here no problem. The back seat, it runs up under here. Runs up through here, under all that, behind the B&O sub, over to the wiring harness. I spliced in the wires off the wiring harness that have the black stripe on them. So I just put white to white and gray to, what is this, green and purple? And then with the wiring harness I got off Amazon, just kind of wired it all together. The colors don't match the original harness, but you just gotta wire it up by position. And then I have these switches set to auto turn on DC, input level low, phase is 180, and then you set your other dials there. And that's it.